Greetings from Phoenix, Arizona. Today is Tuesday, March 5th, 2024. It is 8:41 a.m. Mountain Time and about 56 degrees here in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm in downtown at the intersection of Monroe and 2nd Street, and I have, if I pan down real quick, bicycle with me and phone for GPS attached there. I'm outside of my hotel, the Hyatt Regency, and I figured today I would try to do sort of like a grab bag of adventures. Nothing that would stand out as like, oh wow, that's one particular like fantastic destination. But I sort of like doing the grab bag concept because I did it last year in St. Louis on one of my final days while I was in town for a conference, and I think it would just fit to hit like a miscellaneous things here today too. So we'll start off in the downtown Phoenix area, kind of work our way away from there, mix in a few bike trails in between, and we'll see how it goes. So I'm starting off here on downtown Phoenix, headed toward Van Buren. You can see there's a bicycle path or bicycle lane in the road. That's why I chose this street, but we'll see how it actually goes out. If it was later in the day and busy rush hour time, I probably wouldn't do this, because you can see like even right here, the bicycle lane just shifts.
Continue on to North 2nd Street.
Yeah, the bicycle lane just shifts to being full on in the road, although it does go back to the curb lane over here. Give me 1 second. I'm actually going to adjust and put my phone in my pocket instead of where I had it mounted, because I can't quite seem to get the mount tight enough on this bike. See, this is what I'm referring to. You can see my phone already dangling like this. I'd be worried about it just falling and breaking. Okay, put the phone back in my pocket. That's how I usually ride, unless I know for sure I have this secure. But the way these handlebars are shaped, I'm just not familiar with how to tighten it, I guess, properly on it. Or maybe the accessory I have doesn't quite work as well with this type of bike. Let's venture back out into the bike path in the street. As we approach Fillmore, having a four-way stop sign here. And you can see where the bike lane shares traffic with the possible cars. You can hear one that turned and is coming behind me. And yes, I definitely know it's share the road, but I ride at a leisurely pace. So that's why I'm more than happy to pull over if I hear one coming and just let them go by me. Over there on the right, there's a Cobra arcade. Sounds interesting. Pretty soon we're actually going to be coming up on Roosevelt Row. And in fact, I think this area already delves into Roosevelt Row. I covered that in my downtown Phoenix walking tour video the other day. But this gives you a quick pass through on that area. I believe I was 1 to 2 streets over to the left when I did that, but just even this area as I'm going by, if you look to the left and right, you can see a few murals. And actually I did one thing when I got to this point, I did go forward. So we got a stop sign here, but it's not a 4-way stop, so you do have to look both directions. Yeah, I did walk down this way. It's a cool baseball arcade themed mural over there. Because when I took this path the other day, it eventually led me to, well, I was headed toward the Phoenix Art Museum, but I was surprised to see the library along the way, so I actually popped in there, checked out the library, then went to just by the outside of the Phoenix Art Museum, and then ended the video outside of the Heard Museum where a festival had just concluded. I think the path we're taking today is not going to go by the art museum portion. I believe pretty soon it's going to guide me to make a sort of a left-hand turn up here. But let me verify that. Yeah, it wants me to go left and keep going this way. That building to our right, the big rustic looking one on the right ahead of us, is actually the library. So when I did my walking video the other day, I made a right-hand turn right over here.
In 600 feet, turn right.
Let's see here, it just said 600 feet turn right, but I don't think I should be going that way. I think it's right just up ahead more. Yeah, we're still going straight ahead.
Turn right, then turn right.
Turn right. This is probably why it wants me to turn right, because there's little stairs over there, so this allows me to continue the incline. And then it looks like we're going to
Turn right, then turn right.
You can ignore on the phone the audio saying the constant left and right, because I think we're going to weave in and out for a little bit here.
Turn right, then turn left. Turn left, then slide right.
What's cool about a place like this is, there's a lot of grass. Not all the Arizona homes you see will have like such luscious grass. This is all nice and green. I don't know how that'll get there in the summer.
Right onto North 3rd Avenue.
Oh, look at that over there. That's pretty cool in the park. No bicycling, rollerblading, scooter boards on stairs. That's just for safety purposes. Like, don't ride down them. But look at this, the Fiesta Bowl play at Hance Park. You've got the big owl, bunny, and fox decorations up ahead. See, that's exactly the type of things I love covering. When you just like riding. There's loose general destinations that I want to venture to, But it's like along the way, I kind of get to do my own thing and veer off the path. Let's see here. There's stairs over here, so I actually do want to get back down. Let me just take this path. Otherwise, the stairs over there get a bit steeper. Make sure I put the camera back in the correct mode. When I was doing a bike ride in Las Vegas, I was riding fine for like 45 minutes, but then I stopped to adjust the camera to show something, and then when I resumed riding, I forgot to put it in a certain mode. So then I was just showing my feet on the ground after that for like the final 15 minutes of the ride. And I was like, oh no. So now I try to make sure I'm constantly checking. All right, we're still going ahead a little bit. I think we're gonna make a right turn here and keep going.
Continue on North 3rd
Straight.
Avenue for 3/4 of a mile.
All right, now we're gonna ride down North 3rd Avenue. And I don't think it's like this the whole way, because when I looked at Google Maps further on down, it was not. But I'm pleasantly surprised to see a dedicated bike path in the street here. So that's a great bonus. Snap some pictures of that. So if you're wondering what I'm doing now, I told my brother, who always assists me with preparation for my videos and gives me some tips. He's like, try to make sure you go down a few residential houses here and there, or residential streets, to show off some of the houses and how they look and their landscape, so you get a little bit of a feel for the community. Now granted, a lot of communities are going to be different, but just to give you guys a little snapshot of that, I just picked literally a random street to go down, but it looked nice when I peeped my head down it. So let me turn back around. On the ground here, it actually says Roosevelt Historic 64 on the address. So the addresses on these things are like not single, but close to single digit numbers. I'm sure one of them is a single digit, but it's like the address here is 78.
In 300 feet, turn right onto North 3rd Avenue.
The address here is 84.
Turn right onto North 3rd Avenue.
So we're going to go back to the bike lane now. So this is a one-way street for vehicle traffic, but bicycles can go both directions. I'm going to venture to guess that at some point this very nice looking trail won't be like this. It'll just probably convert to a normal street bike lane. We're approaching McDowell right now. Yeah, I told them to go ahead since I'm just taking my time on the stroll. So yeah, you see right there, the bike lane ended as far as being a multi-direction thing. I wonder if they are going to do future construction though to do it, because this looks relatively new, this like curbed thing, although then over here you see where it's like a bike lane only going this direction. It says the Phoenix Sonoran Bikeway. Got a mural on the wall of the house there. Another mural to our right says Namaste. I always give credit. Oh, there's a speed bump here, by the way. I was going to say, I always give credit to cities when I recognize that their bike lanes, like such as this one, are designed like nice and wide. Some of them feel like they're half the width of this, and even the thick white lines on both ends are very like thick lines, like twice the width of a normal line. So it really gives you, even though it's not a protected bike lane, it really gives you the feel of a protected bike lane. I'm going to briefly detour over here. See, there's a little art sculpture here. I think this is supposed to be like a Willow. On Google Maps it said something to the effect of a Willow community. Willo Historic Neighborhood. I don't know exactly what it means by historic, but we'll take its word for it. So let's briefly ride on down one of these roads, check out the houses. I want to take a picture of some of these houses too, though, so always nice to have a collection in the photos. Forgive the delay there. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to ride down this road, again, to give the perspective of the housing. And even this, look at the cool house over here.
U-turn at North Fifth Avenue.
It's got like statue of like a dog on the bench there, and then just the color and colorful nature of the house. Yeah, well, I think what I was talking about earlier about this being a grab bag video around Arizona, last year I did one of those in St. Louis. I think I started off looking at the murals along the side of like where the Gateway Arch would be. But then after that I just ventured into like several different communities that were smaller but had tiny attractions. Then eventually I just did like a bike ride all the way to a place called Vincent Van Donut, grabbed a nice donut, and then ended up making my way back. Let's see, I gotta check if this is the road I want to turn right on. I think it is the one I want to loop on. Much busier road down here than the north road we were on earlier. Coming up fairly soon is supposed to be some historic in a loose term. It's not like a big time monument, but a fire station with a historic relevance of some kind. I think it's just beyond the light here. Or maybe it's further down. I guess this is still part of that Willo Historic District because the sign indicates such up here. Where the heck is that fire station? I thought it wasn't that far away. Oh, you have a nice mural right here. Let me check my maps again. No way. It's saying I passed it up a few blocks earlier. Well, let's turn around. It says it should be at Encanto, which is actually just the next light, so it's not that far of retracing our steps. Maybe what it is I thought it would be located on like literally the street that I'm riding right now, but maybe it's just like a slight turn onto Encanto, and that's where it's located.
Turn right onto West Encanto Boulevard. At the light, turn right onto West Encanto Boulevard.
Oh yeah, so that's it right there. So it's part of the Willo Historic District. It's too bad they don't have it online. They had like a dog statue here and like a little model fire truck. You can see right there it says Phoenix Fire Department Historic Station number 8. I assume that it's not in operation anymore, but it would have been cool if they had those artifacts that I saw, or decorations that I saw online. Maybe they have them in the back here. And this also, like someone seemed to be pointing out, that it was like a tiny museum of sorts where you could go inside it, and not that there was much to see, but oh well. At least we still passed by it. Got to see the building. So I think I'm actually going to try something and go down Encanto now. Remember, this is the spontaneous nature of this bike riding video. There's supposed to be an amusement park. I think it's geared for more for kids, not like like big time adult amusement park. But if it's embedded in this neighborhood, it might be worth checking out. Got a speed bump here. They also have Encanto Park. Looks like there's a golfing range here. Let me see what way Google Maps recommends me going to get to the place. Okay, yeah, it wants me to keep going down Encanto. I'm gonna dip back down to the bike lane here. After all these mini detours, the first destination I'm trying to reach is the Melrose area. It's supposed to be, like from Google Maps, it doesn't really look impressive. It's like a 1 mile stretch, and it even says online, even though it looks like unassuming. And the street is very wide. I think that's one of the things that hurts it, because all you see is like a lot of vehicle traffic. Is this where I turn or no?
Turn right, then turn left.
I think there's an actual path up ahead, like where that crosswalk is. But yeah, the Melrose place, what it's known for is some of the antique shops, a few murals, not a lot of murals, but I believe there's also like an LGBT presence. So to a degree, it's kind of like how I explored the Grove last year, but definitely not as tight knit of a street in terms of design.
Turn left, then turn left.
Alright, so this is part of Encanto Park. Not the amusement park that I'm referring to, but the amusement park is fairly nearby. I actually think it's in the distance over there. But it's always nice to see water and birds and trees all together in one spot. Some of the misconceptions that I had about Arizona or the Phoenix area ahead of time is I assumed there would be very little water, not nearly as much water areas that I've seen. And I also did not expect there
Turn right, then turn left.
to be as much grass. Maybe that might be a different story in the summertime, I'm not sure. But like, I didn't think I'd be seeing nearly as much greenery as I do. So it's made for some pretty scenic areas, even embedded in communities.
Turn left toward North 15th Avenue, then turn left.
Let's see here. Am I going like the wrong way now? Google Maps says the Enchanted Island Amusement Park is actually further to our right. So if I want to venture on back over there quickly, I gotta take some bike paths going back toward the right. So let's see if I can make this work. There's also some boat rentals you could do over here. It makes it seem like that the park is not too far away from where it headed. You've got like a train track here. I am a little perplexed though, because it looks like to me just a big golf course, and it says the amusement park is like nearby.
300 feet, turn right.
Oh, I think we're about to run into it now. How did I miss this along the way?
Turn right, then turn right.
Okay, there it is. So it's not open right now, but you can see there's like a little theme park there. Sort of looks like, if you can think of, if anyone is watching from Cleveland, Ohio, it reminds me of a kiddie park that's on the border of Cleveland and Brooklyn, Ohio. Welcome to Enchanted Island Amusement Park. I'm just lean the bike against this gate for a second. So it's Night of Giving, Thursday, March 14th. Admission $15. It looks like the hours are Wednesday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Friday and Saturday, 10 to 8. And Sunday, 12 to 8. So it's not operational for Mondays and Tuesdays. We're here on a Tuesday. They've got like a carousel over there, various themed things. I don't know if they actually have like a mini roller coaster, but they have the train track that goes by. You've also got this up ahead, decorative wise. All right, so now that I did that little side detour, we can go back and get ready to exit Encanto Park. I think this archway here was actually another welcome sign for the amusement park. Yeah, just turn around and show that real quick. And they have an Easter egg hunt on March 31st. I gotta watch out for all the geese poop. Believe it or not, one of these turtles gave me pause for a second. These turtle decorations. I thought it was actually, like, is that actually a turtle?
Turn left, then turn right.
It fooled me a little because you've got all the birds that are actually moving. Let's see here. Alright, I put the phone away because instead of me just like trying to follow it to a T, I'm just going to use my common sense and know that I need to get to this road on the left here where all the cars are at. I'll just find a pathway that leads me to it.
15th Avenue. Turn right onto North 15th Avenue.
This is the way I'm going.
For 1.5 miles.
Now I gotta check which way, because I don't know if I'm doing the right way. Yes, I am. I was just saying, my north and south direction are pretty challenged so far in Phoenix. Somewhere like Cleveland or the Salt Lake area, I have a very good grasp of it. But even yesterday when I was in Scottsdale, I found myself like assuming that like, okay, I'm gonna be headed that way to go back to Phoenix. And then I looked at the map and it was like, wait a minute, it's actually, what I thought was north was actually like east. Same thing here, I had no clue whether I was going left or right to get to my next spot. Yeah, our detours for that beginning portion should be finished because now we're just headed straight for Melrose. See on the right here is the Hamburger Works. As we approach Thomas. See, there's construction going on here, so this would normally be bikes would have a dedicated lane, but because of that construction, it's basically pushing traffic into the bike lane like that. So I'm definitely riding up here until I see that subside. On the right here it says Phoenix College. So I guess we've got a small little college here. I say small little, could be big, but looks like they're doing new sidewalks. They probably did some utility work at some point on the left side of the street. So that construction subsided now, so I'll see when I get to the next block if I want to dip back into the street. Right now I don't really have a need to. It's nice and smooth up here. Approaching Osborne. I'm going to dip up on the sidewalk so I can let the traffic behind me do their right-hand turns. I'm not holding them up. Like I would have been perfectly fine staying there, but to me that's just one of those things like, oh, if I have the simple chance to dip up onto the curb and there's still like 20 seconds left before the crosswalk or light changes, why not do that and let them go? Also less chance of them making a right turn when it does go green, even though they're not supposed to. But you just like kind of mitigate that. So it says we're about 5 minutes away from Melrose, although I think at the next major light we're going to be turning right. Actually just after the next light, so we're still going to go through the light and then make a right turn. This is another thing I like, similar to what I was talking about earlier about the bike lane having that protected feel to it. So as far as I can tell, this is not like cars can't park on this side of the street, only the other side. But you've got the curb bike lane right here, and you've got that double line in the middle that's protecting, well, serving as a buffer space to vehicles. Just re-emphasizes that you feel more secure riding. So let me check now. Is this it? Coming up soon? Montiero Street. They wanted me to go through that alleyway? What? Alright, forget what. That didn't look like a street really to me. I'm just going to turn down Mackenzie here. Should serve the same purpose. Well, this better not be a dead end down here. Google Maps made it seem like I could get through. Well, I can sort of get through, but I think I'd rather just go up to the main road. If at all possible, try to avoid alleyways when you're in a new area. Although this one doesn't look so bad to cut through. Nice artwork on the right for the Quail Lounge. So welcome to Melrose. Oh, there's the arch. Right in front of us. Now keep in mind what I said, that before I say that, let me check Google Maps again, because I'm not sure if I'm on the correct side of the Melrose Arch. Yep, sure enough, me being directionally challenged, I want to be going the opposite direction, meaning I'm going to turn around here. So there you go. I'm going to be headed this way toward the Melrose stuff. So yes, what I was trying to tell in the story again was a reminder that when you look at Melrose on Google Maps and everything, because the street is so wide, it's really hard to get a picture of like why it's a specially named area, Melrose, with its own like arch. Because anytime something has an arch, you think to yourself, okay, it's something. But there's over on the right, there's a rock, the Rock Bar and Show Lounge, the Quail Lounge that I referenced earlier here. Grab a picture of that. You've got the Phoenix Burrito House. There's a food place over there talking about chicken wings. Here's Rewind Vintage Antique. So I was mentioning earlier how there's certain antique stores along the way here. A lot of them have special hours, so like Mondays and Tuesdays are closed. They're only open Wednesday through Sunday. But how do you get a country girl to like you? A tractor. This bar will help your love life. Giddy up and get your wallet out. Head over heels about making deals. And there's supposed to be a handful of these type of shops down Melrose. Across the way there's Filiberto's Mexican food. I did read online there used to be a couple of more antique stores that were popular in this area, but they have closed over the past couple of years. Over there it says short leash hot dogs and rollover donuts. Melrose Street Fair, Saturday, March 2nd, so I guess that happened already. That would have been interesting to come by. Here's Cooper Star Coffee. I do have to say, being here in person, granted, I still see resemblances of what I was referencing on Google Maps about being too wide and not really seeing a lot, but being here in person makes it significantly more attractive of a neighborhood look. Melrose Vintage, that might be one of the vintage places that's not in business anymore. Over here you've got like a kind of a mini park randomly in the middle, but I think it also serves as a bus stop for both sides of the street, probably, or not, I don't know. It's a bus stop for at least one side of the street. Over on this end, you've got you can see below us the LGBT colored crosswalk. Over here, it also says Boycott Bar, a place for everyone. Phoenix is the hottest large city in the United States. Also has the most sunny days in a year. Let me try to go into this parking lot, because we've got a couple of murals to showcase. So the one mural here, Mariposa de Barrio. And then if I work my way back, you may have seen it already, but there's another mural here. The Melrose Pharmacy on the far left. Another mural on the side of that building. LGBT boot. Outside of Stacy's at Melrose. I was going to say I missed it, but Stacy's at Melrose also has a nice mural on the side of their building. See, one of those areas where you keep riding and then you have to get off because you're like, oh, there's another thing you missed if you don't turn around and look both directions. It's an interesting mix too of active but abandoned places, like the Food Mart gas station here, abandoned. And then like you see several abandoned places, but then you see active restaurants. Another mural over there on the right side. Here's Joe's Diner. Breakfast and lunch daily 7 to 2. Over there on the far left, I see some Phoenix mural, but it's probably not going to be visible. This is a bike path right here, going over part of the river. I am going to come back and take that path, but give me a second. I'm just going to ride a little bit further down Melrose. Here's another vintage store. It's not open right now, but there's supposed to be a Michael Todd's. That was another unique mural as we're going along here. There are a lot more murals than I anticipated, which is a very fun thing to see. But yeah, I wanted to, they're not open right now, but I wanted to swing by the outside of this Michael Todd's antique restaurant. Not restaurant, and Michael Todd's antique store. When my brother was exploring the area, he just like almost half jokingly pointed out how it looked cool. But I don't think I'm going to be able to get there when they're actually open. It's almost 10 a.m. They open at 11. So I'm not going to like hang around the area for an hour. I couldn't afford to delay my trip because I only have a certain amount of time to sightsee and showcase what I want. Here it is. Michael Todd's vintage vintage furniture, industrial, shabby chick, it says. Now, when they open up for the day, I don't know if they're going to move all this stuff out on the patio. Like when you look on Google Maps, they have all this stuff outside. But don't you see how it's like a cool, cool mishmash of materials? Like what is that? Is that like something to scare a scarecrow, or that little dog thing there? Just again to get a closer look at some of the unique merchandise.